I believe that's our society. That's how we formed our society. That's how we have chosen to react to issues, to treat issues with a lot of casualty, with a lot of I don't care attitude. It's a matter of what our society has evolved into.
But then you find that because we do not have values, then society defines us, and society defines what is man enough and what is not. It is society that has defined this for us. And because we have not inculcated the right value system in our generation, in our youth as they grow up, then we are breeding monsters.
I sing this song. Always a pleasure to come to you every single Tuesday in the men's den. Of course, this is Late Night with Ellie. And tonight I have my resident panelist, Gilbert Makomere, all the way in the US. Good evening, Gilbert.
Good evening, Ellie. How are you doing?
I always have to say good afternoon, but it's okay. Respect our time.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Thank you. I hope you had a good Easter.
I did have a good Easter. How was yours?
Mine was good. Christ is risen.
Hallelujah to that. A big amen. For everybody watching, I want us to watch this stream on the handle just right in front of you, Likuyani Eli, or type in the arts in heart as it appears on your screen. That way we can always consolidate all your text messages and of course your comments to enable us to move swiftly. Let's have the gentleman in Nairobi. Good evening, James. How are you?
I'm well, Ellie. How are you?
Great to see you, sir.
Good to see you all.
Yes.
You're doing well.
You're doing well?
Yep.
Are you a leader?
I want to believe so. In some aspects, I want to believe so.
I hope you are.
I was told you don't blow your own trumpet, so I wait for others to say whether I'm a leader or not.
Let's find out. We'll be finding that out in a moment because apparently there's been a lot of discussion happening everywhere because men are supposed to be leaders or good enough, because last week we talked about being man enough. And the question that we're trying to understand is, why is it that to date, Gilbert, a lot of the human beings refer to us as useless? Is it because we are lacking the leadership that we have to propel in the family setting or in the society? What's your take, Mr. Human Development Scientist?
Thank you, Ellie. Thank you once again for this opportunity. Thank you, James, for joining us. I believe it will be a good night for all of us. To our viewers joining us from wherever you are, thank you for being there for us. I believe on your question, Ellie, I always tend to believe everyone has their own opinion because all of us are leaders in our respective ways, depending on what leadership means to you, because we derive definition based on how we believe it ourselves. So I believe all of us are leaders, men are leaders, depending. If yours is not a leader, kindly depend with from which definition are you, or from which tree are you defining your leadership. But anyway, they have called us, we are not leaders because we have failed to be accountable, we have failed to be passionate, we have failed to be respectful, we have failed to be people who have emotions and who are emotionally aware. Mm-hmm. We have failed to be bold, we have failed to be transparent. I believe those are traits of a leader. So if you fail in them, based on the judgment, because this is a perceived feeling, someone may term you as not being a leader. Yeah. But I believe we are leaders in our own respect. I don't know if James agrees with me on that.
I will find out with James, because James, you seem to be struggling to hear or listen to us. What could be the problem? Are we not leading enough words into your ears?
No. I laugh because Gilbert has thrown the ball to me so fast. Now, my take. Leadership.
Yeah.
I'd say I would want to look at it from very many angles. Yeah. Uh, and when we are said or perceived not to be leaders, I question a lot. Whenever I am discussing anything, I question a lot and I look at it from very many perspectives. So when we say men have failed to be leaders, I would want, first of all, to understand from what angle are we not leaders? Yeah, is it from the corporate angle? Is it from the family angle? Is it from society's angle? Exactly where are we not leaders? Now, having said that, I would say that with a lot of fear, I would say men of today have failed to take up the mantle of what leadership entails, both at the family level, at the corporate level, at all spheres. Why do I say this? If you probably look at the generation of our fathers and our forefathers and compare it to our generation, we are finding that men are operating from some sort of kind of fear that can't be explained. I don't know what has intimidated men. I don't know if it's the woman who has been so empowered that the man is a bit intimidated. But I would say, compared to other generations, yes, we're not measuring up to par. We're not at par. Probably that would be my opening remarks.
Do you think men have failed as leaders in the family section? I mean, we are asking you that question. Send in your comments in the comment section. Remember, the hashtag is Art in Heart. This program is brought to you courtesy of Art in Heart. So send in your comments with hashtag Art in Heart. So, are we not measuring up? That could be the reason, or probably because women have been empowered too much. What do you think, Gilbert?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm very hesitant to say some things because I know I'm not there. But I'll let James go first.
I don't know why today's topic
somebody
seems
will
to be very
equally say,
difficult.
people will say that it's because men do not want to discuss about what is happening in their lives, and probably that's why we're having this. But then again, let's just invite everybody that is watching, and before I continue with your comments, kindly follow this conversation on that handle, that is Likuyani Eli. And that way we can always consolidate all the messages in one area and be able to equally address all the mentioned messages. So remember, the handle is Likuyani Eli. It's a Facebook page, or alternatively follow us on YouTube, and then we can be able to see all your comments seamlessly. So back to my gentlemen who are refusing to actually have this conversation. As I look into the comment section, let's have this first. Mbona mnarushiana sana, because it is a hot topic. Thank you so much, Irene. Rodan says tuko hapa. Yes, I believe tuko hapa. That is on the handle Likuyani Eli. That's the Facebook page. Let's see what Salama says. Salama says men are not intimidated. Actually, the actual word should, men in this generation are lazy and want to be murdered. That is the Pandora box. Let's see what James will say after this, and then we are looking at it with who else is here. We have Millie Mayodi saying she's watching from Muyodi, I beg your pardon, watching us from Kisumu, Kenya. And Gilbert Were says, watching us from Mombasa. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the conversation. Let's go. Back to you, James. Are we being mothered too much?
I think the question that you posed was, have men failed in leadership? Now, without beating around the bush, probably I would say no. Yeah, without now going back and forth, I would say no, but I would say dynamics have changed. Yeah. Now, if we look at the traditional role of a man, that one or that of a provider, providing in terms of both security and financial protector and all that, then in that era, the role of the woman was more of nurturing. So the woman was supposed to be at home while the man went out to gather. Yeah. Now, why we think or why we perceive as if men have failed in their leadership role is because roles are changing. Roles have changed. Yeah. You find that today the modern woman will not sit back at home and nurture. They will both go out and hustle, for lack of a better word, and they will both bring what they get at the table. Yeah. So the problem is we as a society, especially, and I say this, and I know stones will be thrown, especially the feminist movement wants us both to go out there and gather, but then it's the man who is bringing home whatever is supposed to be brought home, while the woman, you know that saying, what is yours is ours, but what is mine is mine. That is what is happening in today's society. So while we might perceive as if the man has failed in their leadership role, I think it's the roles that have changed, and we are not able to appreciate the changed roles. Now, with that comes a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure on the man, and by nature we know that men don't talk. So what you will find happening is this man will start building resentments. They will start hoarding the little that they get. They will start preferring to be outside the family more than inside the family. They will start drinking, and as much as they engage in this unhealthy quote unquote coping mechanism to deal with the pressures at the family level, they are only reinforcing the perception that the man has failed. But when you look at most families, it is a sad situation because you find we are both working, but it is the man who is expected to lead at all fronts while the woman sits back and waits on the man. So man has not failed per se. It's the roles have changed, but the expectations remain.
Well, I think James made his point there, even though he's decided to go missing in action because there are a lot of questions being thrown at him here. And let's get to them again. Once again, Gilbert, as you try to come back with what James was trying to pursue. Let's hear it here. Says James, well, if we contribute 50-50, then we demand as much authority in the home. Okay. There goes again the feminism story. Our contribution as a woman is not monetary. Great contribution there. We have Noreen who says, what have you done to your face today? You are... Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate Noreen. Thank you so much. Let's follow this conversation once again on the page Likuyani Eli, and then we can be able to consolidate all the message. In fact, I'm receiving a notification that the link on Eli Likuyani is going off. So kindly follow this conversation on Likuyani Eli the page. Thank you so much. Back to you, Gilbert. So James was saying there's a problem, and the problem is probably what people are mentioning here. What is your take on the same?
As I said last time,
Yep.
the generation raising, we are raising a dangerous generation. All goes to the hardware. If the hardware is not properly fixed, the software too will not fit in. So the type of generation the type of men we are raising now, the type of generation are the type of men that have been raised for like 20 years back in the era of believing that we have been transformed, that we have been empowered. There are new things coming up. My question is always, has development as a human being changed? It has never changed. If you are born a man, you grow up being a man. It's only that, as James said, dynamics, things are changing. Things that were not there are coming up. The problem, we are not adjusting to them effectively. We are not adjusting to new trends in life effectively. We adjust to them with the way they have come, forgetting that there is, because of social media, there is influence between our culture and competing cultures from outside the norm, outside what we've known as our culture. And what we forget is everywhere they have their own culture. We are 75% of what exists around us and 25% of what we adjust to in life. So if we allow the 75% to influence us, not in a negative way, it will weigh on us so much more than what is going in us. So I believe is that as the trends change, we are not embracing them infused with our culture. We are forgetting our culture as we adopt new trends. And these new trends, wherever they are coming from, we never know they come with which intentions, because there are very many competing aspects in life, and the way we respond to them, aspects are very many that shape who we are or who we become who we become in life. So if, like, parenting is wrong, if like your environment is not right, then you understand what are we growing up to be. If your parents have not done their work, if the society, what is surrounding you, has not shaped you to what it desires you become, then who do we become? The society that was there in those days, where it was communal parenting, it has now ceased. New dynamics have come in, and people are protecting one of their own. We are normalizing things that were unheard of by then. It's now normal and a good thing. Find a lady telling you that I don't care, I just need a kid, I will raise that kid alone, and I will do both roles. And then in the long run, 20 years down the line, they will be the one saying things are not right. So if a society is breaking up from the norm we have known, then where do we borrow? Where do we borrow what is right? How do we correct it? So we have failed in terms of upbringing and the society fabrics. They have disentangled. So no one is there to take care of them. So the same people you expect to correct what is happening are the same people we are blaming. So who is the moral cop here? If all the cops are immoral, that's my opinion.
Thank you so much, Gilbert, for that. And unfortunately, again, we've lost Gilbert. You know, when we talk, I mean, we've lost James Gilbert. You're still there, sorry. And when we talk about leadership and men taking up roles, something that makes me feel good about being a man is that not all men are the same. And of course, not all women are the same, especially there's one particular one that is trying to look like they can bully us online as we're speaking. I want to tell you something, Anita or Ann Kyoko. If you have nothing good to do, then do it elsewhere. I think you are such a disillusioned person, irrespectable, and you do not deserve to be in any engagement that is public. I hope you got my message. Having said that, let's deal with what is important. So, back to James, who is actually again offline, but in the meantime, let's get what people that have brains and want to talk about are actually talking about. We have Salamatai who says, we are coming up with jealousy vaccine. Maybe you should be a guinea pig. Nobody's forcing you to be here. Thank you so much, Salama. I know who is being addressed there. And as I said, we fear nobody. We fear nobody, but we respect everybody. That's what I want us to remember, out of respect. So if you have nothing else to do that is good, go do it elsewhere. And in fact, this is the men's den, and only ladies that want to have a discussion are welcome into it. Normally, Gilbert, I don't rant online, but this one caught my attention, and I have to do this. Back to you, James. Are you sorted, sir?
As we wait for James to come on,
yes,
I understand when somebody like Anita runs here, it's a normal thing. We don't need to bash her.
Yeah.
She's in her free space, and
well, this is our free space, not hers.
yeah, she came around. She's a follower in denial. So even if you are 6, she's the 7th one. And
I thought so too.
More than one is a group. So
Voilà.
if people can get something positive from what we are talking, it will help our generation. That's why we are here discussing.
Mm-hmm.
If those 6 people can go out and influence other people who are lost in the society, so that we stop saying that men are not leaders.
Yeah.
That is a role given. If you believe in God and you believe in deity, you know that it's a role given by God for us to lead. So when we fail and when we stop leading, it means the society is breaking up.
Yeah.
What happens tomorrow if we don't change it today? If we don't talk out, if we don't come out and discuss and say something is wrong. I've seen us Kenyans petitioning IMF to recall the loan.
Yeah.
If we don't come out and talk, how will people know there's a problem?
Mm-hmm.
And once there's a problem, we are supposed to discuss it. And if someone feels we should not discuss, it is within their right. They feel we should not discuss. The good thing, they are listening.
Yeah,
I love that. The good thing, they are logged in and they are listening. If they will get something positive, even if it's one, and go out and influence that society that we feel that is getting lost, I'll be happy, Eli. I don't care. I'll be happy for such people. And for our viewers who are following us, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, we need the few of you that are here. And you know, having said that, she's loving the attention. At least you've had free airtime, Anita. Ann Kyoko Mutave, that's your name. You've had your 5 minutes of fame. I hope you are happy now. You can sleep with your high heels on. Great. Let's move on to James, who has been on the background listening in. James, there's someone that challenged your rationale of leadership in the name of sharing and you know, distributing. And this is what they actually posed to you. If you can respond to that, James. Let me bring it on your screen, then it's easier.
Yeah. We demand as much authority in our home. Okay, now, this is where we go wrong, Ellie. This is where we go wrong. Trying to compete, men and women will never be the same. We can jump high, low, but it's given. Men and women will never be the same. And I know this is one of the problems that afflict society, especially today's society, because women feel just because he's going out there and bringing back the bacon or bringing whatever, then they should have equal say. Again, I think I've heard Gilbert say, even in the Bible, it said the man will lead. Yeah. And leading is not necessarily financial. I don't know why women, and I will be blunt here, I don't know why women think that just because they're contributing financially, then they should be equals. We can never be equals. A country can't have two presidents. Who will tell who what? Yeah. And this is one of the problems that now is perpetuating this weak men syndrome, because you will find this woman will feel that they are not being treated equally by the husband, so they will want to out the marriage. If they are married, they will work with the children and they will bring up the son to be a weak man, and we will only perpetuate this. So that's not a debate that I will get into about getting equals. It will never happen. We can't have equity is not equality. We cannot have equality between man and woman. Again, I would invite them. I usually invite people. Read about equity. It's not the same as equality. We can't both wear pants in the house. So that one for me is a non. And I apologize, Ellie, for using such strong words in your show, but that's a non-issue for me, with no apologies.
With no apologies. How about you, James? Gilbert.
Yeah, it's right. It's right, James. As we have always said, we are not competing, we are complementing. At that point, you start feeling that we are in this to compete. That's where we go wrong completely. Go in and do your 100. I will do my 100. So that whenever I'm failing, you are complimenting. Whenever you are failing, I'm complimenting. The 50-50 issue has been brought up by feminists who wants you to believe that you have your 50, I have my 50. You do your role, I do my role. So when you fail, you start looking at the other 50. Where are you to complement, to complete my 50 to be 100? So we go in already with expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Not considering what you are bringing in, but what the other person is bringing on the table, so that I add on mine. So we go in with the perfect mind. So we are in families where people are perfect and they see the other people as the mistake. So they always look for the small mistakes to always lay an allegation.
Yeah.
And as I started by saying, a leader is someone who is accountable, passionate, respectful, humble, emotionally aware, bold, and transparent.
Yeah.
So if these things are in you, it doesn't matter if it's the man or the woman. When we go on talking about competing, we lack this, because when you have these, you embrace complementary style of leadership, where I look at you as me. So you are my reflection.
Yeah.
Once you are my reflection, I'm not perfect. God never created perfect human beings, or else we'll be in heaven with angels. We are on earth and we are imperfect. There are places with labs.
As you talk about that, sorry, Gilbert, I'll mute you a little bit. As we talk about that, you realize this is the conversation that comes out more often, James. Watu wanasema, you're a useless man. But the thing I always say, if you call me useless, you have to look at yourself, because you actually chose me. Who is more useless than the other? So as we try to debate about giving the leadership role, I believe from where I sit, it's more about what as a complementing abilities you give one another. But then again, that is where I come from, and I'll bring you back, Gilbert, later on. Let's see what they are saying in the comment section here. And remember, we are streaming live on Likuyani Eli, the page. So join the conversation, be part of the conversation, share, invite, and like the page at the same time. Let's see watu wanasema nini hapa. Salama is on your case tonight. I don't know why. Salama seems to be a very serious feminist. She says the compliment in the other duties women, then compliment in the other duties women do. I don't know. Are we arguing about what men and women don't do? I don't know. We will find out. I leave it open to correspondence. I'm looking for comments, guys. Leave that lady alone. She's gone. She's gone. I dealt with her. She doesn't deserve the airtime. Let's see what else is there. I'm really enjoying Charlie John. I'm really enjoying, and thanks Sarah and Jonjo for inviting me. Thank you, Jonjo, for equally inviting everyone that is there. And let's see who else has something that is in sync with what you're talking about. Great. Okay, fine. The others, they were dealing with somebody that was annoying us. James, before you left, when you were away, somebody decided to become relevant here. But that's a story for another day. So back to you, James and Gilbert.
Who is going first? I'm going first.
Then you follow the order of the naming, James and Gilbert.
Okay. Now, specifically, if we were to look at the family unit and leadership roles in the family unit, I want to flip this and bring to the attention just three aspects that any woman would use to create a leader, because leadership does not occur in vacuum. Yeah, a man just requires three things, just three simple things. Number one, respect. Yeah. Number two, intimacy. And number three, in as much as we don't know this, compliments. Okay. Now, give a man these three things, he will break the bank for you.
Let's ask the ladies who are actually here in magnitude. Have you been able to supply these three, and what has been your experience? Go ahead.
Before
James.
I need to explain just one aspect.
Yeah.
I know most ladies will say the respect is earned. Okay. And I don't refute. It is earned. But there is the respect that comes when the two of you join together and decide to form a union as a couple. I will not use husband and wife, but as a couple, there is just that respect that the man feels he should get by being the head of the family. And this respect does not call for much. It is just, and I usually tell women, by the way, a clever woman will be the ruler of her home. A man is a very simple creature. You just need to make the man feel like he owns the decision, and you'll do everything that you want in that house. But unfortunately, most women come with this roho juu, sasa ni kifua, who is doing more? I am providing, so you should also. And immediately a man feels threatened in their own space, in their own sphere. What they do is go out. And that's why men will have mpango wa kando. That's why men will be at the bar until you're asleep. That's why all these things happen. Just because the man feels threatened. It might be perceived, it might be real, but as long as a man does not feel respected in the house, remember, men have very fragile egos. We might look tough and portray this super tough exterior, but men have very fragile egos. As long as that ego is threatened, you will not have a leader in that house. A clever woman will run the home the way she wants. She just needs to use her brain. And the man will feel like he's making all the decisions, while it's the woman. It's that simple. I usually tell women, dealing with a man is so simple. It's child's play. But now they come with this all hula baloo and we are equal. We should both wear pants. And Gilbert, you have to go.
I know Gilbert wants to come in. Gilbert, before you come in, I will allow you to respond in your correspondence in the same breath. There's this lady who is asking, and I believe it's not Winnie James, it's not James pseudo account, who says una compliment Nini.
I missed. What was happening? I missed. I went away and I found a fight going on.
I will debrief you once we finish this. But again, back to this this comment, James and Gilbert. Gilbert,
Yes.
Shishwin is asking, what do you compliment in a man specifically? And then
let me answer that because I'm the
Okay,
one who
great.
has raised it. Because
Okay,
I'm the
great.
one who has raised it. You see, a man will go out there and will not come home with the bacon you expected. Okay? You do not belittle his endeavors out there. He has tried. He has gone out. He expected he'll come back with school fees because the child needs school fees, but he was not able to raise the correct amount. Yeah. What most, let me not use the word most, what some women will do is castigate the man. And that's where we start finding words like you're useless. Why can't you be like so and so? You're killing his spirit. He's come back with 5,000 and the fees was 45,000. Compliment him for finding the 5,000. What you do is you encourage him so that tomorrow when he goes out with his shoulders.
Okay.
But we will find that the man is being bashed, and that is where the complimenting comes in.
Okay. We had that remark from Gilbert, from James. I don't know why I keep mixing your names tonight. It's just interesting because I wanted to refer to Gilbert to come into this discussion. And Gilbert, a very interesting point that James mentions there, because I have a feeling most men will acknowledge that once they come with the little they have earned, or what they have bought and they didn't buy, they will always be reminded that which they didn't do. Does that affect the ability of a man actually taking up his role as a leader in that house? Back to you, Gilbert.
Let's start from behind, at least, so that we get to understand. I would say leaders are born and raised. I'll still go back there because I believe most of the things they stem from when you are young, more than when you are adjusting to life. If you are raised good early, most probably you'll end up being a good woman or a good man in the society. As when growing up, when ladies and when boys and girls start getting roles in development, ladies will get the responsibility roles faster than men, because at that time more energy on men is used on developing muscles.
Great.
When we are young, when we are developing, mostly for men will be in competing games to outwit. But for ladies, they'll be in responsibility that will enable them to take care of others. So when we are growing up as men, we adopt when we are adopting attachment, we adopt attachment to our moms as ladies attach to the dads. That's scientifically. So we see our moms as role models. We grow up knowing our moms are the world. So if your mom will do their role and bring you up good, if your dad will come in also, because when mom is doing their best and the dad is absent, you fail to know what a man should be by example. you know what a man should be by explanation and demonstration. Because as the mother is teaching you how to take care of a woman in your life, the dad should be teaching you how to be a man in the society. So when you fail on these two roles, when you are growing up, that's where the misfit come in. You find someone can be this and fail to be this because the growing was not superb. To your question, when you ask, when you have now grown into a man, you have your own space. You are not taught these things. Some part missed. The other one was okay, the other one was not okay. So when you develop into a man, you see such things are like what you are asking about. For us men, we will not discuss. We will feel bad when I come home and I'm not complimented. But if you fail to compliment a woman because they have been taught roles and they know this is my space, when they do it better, when you praise them, they feel good. They have the feel good effect. But for us men, whether we are complimented or not, we hide within our feelings and we don't say it. I will not say it in the house, but I'll go out and complain. And I'll complain when I hear from someone else. I'll be like, oh, to me, I've never liked, and it's not a big issue. But to ladies, it's a big issue because to them, the feelings emote very fast as compared to men. For us, we suppress. So when we are not complimented, it contributes. It contributes a lot because the feeling is there, the urge is there. But when it's not being done and you complain, you look like you are weak. So the best thing is to keep quiet. The issue comes when you'll get compliments somewhere else. And the feel-good effect also comes to you. You'll tend to lean there.
I know James will call it the dopamine effect. Feel
You'll
good
tend, you'll tend,
chemical.
you'll tend to lean there and forget your
Mhm.
place because this is what you want. You also want to feel good. That's where we forget. All of us are human beings, Eli. All of us have feelings. We are wired differently, but all of us have these feelings. All of us want to feel good. All of us want to be complimented. All of us want to feel appreciated. It's not a woman role to be appreciated alone. Even men wants to feel appreciated, whether he's doing big or good. It all trickles down to what the two of you, your communication pattern. If you
Great.
guys don't have that communication, you just hear it from social media, other people, movies, and you want to imagine it that it must be home. And that's where now, where men we fail. Because when we don't take responsibility, when we don't take on the mantle of leadership and lead by being pragmatic, taking responsibility of our positions, and we allow, let me say for this, we allow women to feel that they are in charge.
Mhm.
If you don't control it, they go overboard. And once they go overboard and start looking down upon you, be sure respect will disappear.
Respect will disappear, James and Gilbert. I want to take that conversation from there, but let's go first to the comment section because there are very interesting discussions happening here. I think Shish Winnie, we expounded on that. Then this is just about one of the other comments. Wanaume wamedekezwa, wanasahau majukumu yao kwa vichwa. Like they forget they have to be the head of the home because of how they are brought up. Then, James, this is to you. They are telling or asking you, kindly clarify the respect the man wants, because some are taking it too far. It ends up becoming domestic bullying. And I want you to address that in the next conversation. Another one from Kiproroda who says, hapo nakubali, especially men who still believe that women's place is in the kitchen. Okay. The role of man and woman. It's always rotates and comes back to that topic. But then again, somebody seems to agree with you, James. And Nancy says, we make them believe they are the boss, but in fact, it is us who wearing the pants. Great one there. Thank you so much, Nancy, for the contribution. And Anmil watching us from Saudi. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I will just go through the questions there because that's the whole purpose of the discussion. There is one says, talking of respect, Mr. James, James referring to James, is rectifying or rather speaking out your mind considered disrespect or disrespectful, I suppose? That is a good question. Thank you for bringing it out, and a very educative topic. Thank you, Lucy, for your message. And last but not least, we have personally, I don't have a problem complimenting a man. The problem comes in when the man feels like I should be at his back and call just because he's the head of the home and still he's expecting the 50-50 scenario to take place. Okay. 50-50 is a debate that we can never end. But gentlemen, especially James, who has been on leave, what do you want to begin with the questions?
I think I go on leave very many times.
You just left, so clearly you are on leave.
Now, let me, number one, Ellie, before I even go to the questions, I want to pose a challenge to you. Yeah. And I would want the ladies to participate in this challenge. In one of the topics that we will do, let's discuss why men have mistresses or mpango wa kandos. Because it is happening and it is rampant.
Are you talking about why men are polygamous or why men have mistresses? Because there's a big difference.
No, not polygamy.
Okay.
Why men have
I just want men that are polygamous to know we are not attacking you. We're talking about those who have here, there, and here. Great. Yes. Because I'm a very big defendant of the African traditions. That's why I had to ask that question.
Because the reason why I say this is because I find this particular topic that we are discussing to be greatly linked to why men stray.
Okay.
Remember, polygamy is acceptable in some cultures, especially in the African culture. Yeah. So that one we have no problem with. I'm talking about the straying. Yeah. So I challenge you that one of these days, let us have that discussion.
Why ask? Let's do it next week. Guys, we have that topic next week. Meantime, let's have the discussion.
Let's during next week, let's hear what ladies say. Back to respect. Number one, I am a firm believer that respect is mutual. By saying that women should respect men, I do not for a minute say men should not respect women. Yeah. Respect is mutual. The problem, or what I mean by man needs to be respected, is because of the way some men are treated at the family level when they are perceived not to have met the expectations of the woman. That is the main difference. Yeah. And to answer that lady who asks whether if correcting the man is disrespect, absolutely not. Remember, this is a union where you've come together and we will all have our faults. And the man needs to bring to the woman's attention her faults, while the woman also needs to bring forth the man's faults. Now, the problem comes on the how it's done. Yeah. Because if a man comes and he feels like he's being castigated, not corrected, then that is where the perceived disrespect comes in. The woman can be laying out exactly the right thing, but how is it done? What tone is used? What is the setting of this correction? Yeah. Again, remember, no man wants to look like anapigiwa msomo. Umeingia kwako, umechoka, the boss has tukana you.
Unalipa rent yako.
Unalipa rent and then unakuja unapata mtu ameshika kiuno. Anakusomea. Definitely, it will enter through here and go out through this other ear.
and allow me to come in and as we said, these are men's den, so clearly I'm not hosting nothing here. I equally express my own opinion. So there's one thing I believe ladies should learn from all this, that sometimes you speaking a lot doesn't necessarily drive the point home, and you necessarily not speaking doesn't also bring the point home. There's a very big difference of much shouting or shouting much and actually conversing with your man over an issue. And most of the time,
let me
yeah, go ahead, James.
no, let me tell you, Ellie, and that's why I said a clever woman will make her home. Yeah, because you need to learn your man. I find it. I'm trying very hard to use nice words, but I find this.
Don't worry, they are attacking you in the comment section. It's okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I find it childish when a woman goes mute and expects the man to read sign language. Yeah, because that is that. I don't know if it's a defense mechanism, but you'll find something has happened and the woman has gone mute. So you ask, "What's wrong?" Nothing. What is happening? Nothing.
Nothing.
And
what
they
can
expect
I do?
You to
read the mind.
So nothing. How do you expect the man to know what you want? Yeah.
I have the problem with that, James.
But also, Ellie, you rightly put it, yeah. A shouting match will get you nowhere. If your man comes in and he has committed the gravest mistake that you can think of, and you go ballistic on him, I can assure you, you're not getting to him. If anything, he's looking at you and thinking, here we go again. So he will do what he has always done. He will ignore you. And then you'll start saying, men do not listen. Men do not understand. Yeah. So again, it's and again, for heaven's sake, I'm not saying it's all the woman's fault. Yeah. But because we are discussing specifically the role of man in leadership and what is required to create that relationship, then I will focus on what women do or not do to either create leaders or not create leaders. Again, remember, and Nancy has put it out there, women wear the pants. We might want to shout all we want, but women wear the pants. But only a clever woman. Not the women who are shouting.
I'll give you, Gilbert, before you just say nothing, I mean, sorry, that was not what I meant to say. Before you say something, let me say this. Women do not understand the immense power and authority they possess in their humility. Because if you were in a boys' sitting and your dad calls, dad, nitakupigia, or mom, I'll call you back, or mom, what are you saying? But if the woman that you treasure in your life calls you, and especially she's the boss of the house, a man will coil their tail and they will go in a corner. Yes, what are you saying? Because of the power that you possess. So I believe to transform that power into a leader of the home, women have to know that they possess it. You just have to transfer it. It's like they say in physics, energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. So you are transforming that power and energy into the leader. Gilbert, back to you.
I'll tend to disagree with you guys because
there we go again.
All I will say, where men we fail.
Yeah.
We fail to establish communications channels.
How now?
This noise will not come out of nothing. Mostly is when there is a communication breakdown. What is our love language? Are
you agreeing with this guy saying about love language, James?
You know what, Ellie? We are just saying what you're saying without knowing we are referring from the ladies. All these, everything we are discussing, it will be reference to ladies. Also, we need to ask, where are we failing as men? We have failed to take leadership roles. And a leader is someone who sees through. what he's supposed to do up to the end. Imagine, I'm a believer, so imagine Eve confusing Adam. And according to the Bible, Eve was created after. But he confused him until when Adam, when God came.
Are you surprised why we call it sons of Adam and daughters of Eve? Are you surprised?
Did you know what Adam did? Adam, where are you? What did he respond?
It is this woman you gave me.
No, I am naked. God asked him, where are you? That's where communication started failing. Yeah. See, now it's from our forefathers. It's something we need to correct and know.
But go back to Eve with what she did.
Yeah.
What did Eve do?
Eve influenced
Adam.
No,
she sabotaged the leadership.
No. Eve influenced Adam. It was
to do that.
It was up to Adam to take up the leadership, knowing the instruction he was given and say no.
Sons of Adam, I do not agree with you.
He allowed, just like allowing alcohol to take over you, and you start saying it was alcohol you gave me.
Exactly. But for alcohol, I agree with you, because there are some people who will drink too much and start writing you emails in the middle of the night, insulting you, and then say it was alcohol in the morning.
That is never alcohol. That is someone just trying to tell you the truth. In a position, they will come up with an excuse. That's why we said a leader should not come up with this. You should take responsibility. Don't blame the alcohol. Just say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And you see that sometimes that is what our women want to hear. Just saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I came in late. Not looking for excuses. I was out with boys. I was doing what? Out with boys 3, 5, and you're like, out with boys. I didn't call you. My phone was, you're looking for excuses. But if you take up the leadership role, you'll be like, do what you're supposed to do. Communicate. Most relationships fail because of communication. And that's where men, we have failed to communicate. And communication is a skill, remember, it is taught. So it's up to us to learn how to communicate. How do we communicate with our women? How do we establish the leadership channel in your family? How do you establish the communication tools in your relationship? If they are not there, my brother, you can be the best manager. Managers are taught. Leaders are born, as I said. It's only cultivated. You can be born with it, but you are timid. Because you are predisposed. James will tell us.
Because you are the Kababa generation, right?
Predisposed. So you feel timid. But we have greatness. God created us with greatness in us. It's up to us to step out. It's up to us to take up our roles and lead. And don't wait on women to remind us. They were created to complement us, not to watch over us. So if you do your role, if we do our roles well as men, by not failing to take up the mantle of leadership and establish...
But who are you? Who are you? Who is this guy? Why have you just stand on us?
Of course.
We had a very clear line of thought that we were supposed to present here, and there you come, you become girl child supporter. By the way, I'm being told by Mike, and he's reminding us that it's only the snake that was able to talk in the Garden of Eden. And whom did he talk to? It could not talk to the man, because from time immemorial, woman has influenced the way a man thinketh. And I want to agree to those words. Just before you respond.
Perspective. Also ask yourself, why did it not talk to a man? Because it knew this is the person given the mantle here, and I will not easily convince him here. Yeah. He rules over us. He's the head.
But let me take you to why I was saying that. Okay, James.
I have to come in. I've become a passenger in this conversation.
Kindly go ahead, sir.
Now, I want to front two lines of thought. Number one, I want to agree to some extent with Gilbert, and referring to that Adam and Eve story. It only goes to show the kind of influence that woman has on man. That's why the snake targeted the woman, because it knew going directly to the man, it might not get anywhere. So it knew, if I convince the woman, most likely I've convinced the man. That is all I will say about the scriptures. Coming back now, let's not turn
Clearly,
this.
your Bible, and your holy book knowledge is very. It's all right. It's all right. Go ahead, sir.
No, let's not turn. Our intention is not to turn this particular show into a woman bashing show. Yeah. So let me flip it and say they are toxic men. We are not running away from that conversation. And there are men who are weak, and there are men who can't be leaders. That one we can't run away from. Yeah. Now, my question would be why? And it can be anything. It can be upbringing. It can be socialization. It can be emancipation by society and by a larger extent the people who are around this woman. Man, sorry. It can be an entitlement feeling. This man has grown up feeling entitled, so they will demand respect. They will demand. Respect is not demanded; it is earned. Yeah, by what you do, by how you live, by how you interact. I agree entirely with Gilbert when he says communication is key for leadership to take effect. Yeah, because for you to lead, you have to be clear on where you're leading your household. Yeah, you can't expect, just the same way we are saying men are not mind readers, and they will not read what the woman wants. The woman is also not a mind reader, so she needs direction. She needs to be told, this is the way I want this family to go. This is the direction that this family is going. And that's the role of a man. So there are men who are unable to do that. We will not run away from that. Yeah. And we can't say that it's all the woman's fault. That will be faulty. That is faulty thinking. Yeah. So I think this conversation needs to be looked at from two spectrums. Yes, there is a role that the woman plays in defining a useless quote unquote man, but also there are those men who just can't lead because of various aspects. They just can't lead. Now, again, that's a whole new topic to discuss. Why can some men lead? Is it because of socialization? Is it because of how they were brought up? Is it because of entitlement issues? Is it because they have been made of what we can think about when we look at leadership from a man? But having said that, I don't know, Ellie, you can hear me?
Well, I think you are acting the movie Frozen for the moment. We can hear you, but you're acting the movie Frozen, just in case you can hear us. So we will get you unfrozen as we sing for you with the magical, whatever they call it. And meanwhile, Gilbert, we are really out of time. But let's make a few closing remarks, even as we appreciate the guests there. Remember, guys, this is Late Night with Ellie, and here on Tuesday it's always the Men's Den, where we get to discuss matters, men, and issues that surround men. And we cannot say it is a subject by itself, because when you talk about a man, if you look at that word woman, there is a woo involved in it. And that's why we actually invite ladies to equally have this conversation with us. In the comment section, you have been very active tonight, and I want to appreciate you. But before I do that, remember, every single Wednesday from same time, same place, same channel, we are having the Late Night Date with Ellie and Nyokabi GK come out. Tomorrow we talk about money and relationships. For those of you who have every question to do with money and relationships, let's get to find out why money has to be involved in a relationship, and why these two words always disagree in the same sentence. That is the topic for tomorrow. And back to studio, we have Gilbert Makomere, of course, human development scientist all the way in the USA, and James Mwati, the frozen competition winner of the night, also a psychologist based in Nairobi. James, you will make your remarks, but let's allow Gilbert to say because we are way out of time. Yes. So, Gilbert, any final thoughts as we close down on this?
Thank you. As we wind up early, as I said, first, men, let's rise up, take up our roles. I know the society might not have been fair in raising us up, but it's never late because we learn from others. We live around people. We have eyes, we have brains, so we can't lay any blame. It's us to take up our roles as they are prescribed, depending with where you believe they are prescribed from, because I can't use one reference point to point yet. All of us believe in their own way. But morally, we are supposed to give direction. We are supposed to offer leadership. When we fail in that aspect, we task women a lot to support you and to lead you, which is very hard. They are playing the roles which are not theirs as per the society. But you see, when they do the double roles, they do a lot. So if men will be bold enough, will be passionate, will be respectful, will be accountable, will be transparent, as men, I believe we'll have a society that has a direction, because failure to have these leads to a society that doesn't have a direction. And anyone will rise up and provide a direction. For example, what is happening in Kenya now? Why are Kenyans angry? IMF is wondering, why are Kenyans angry? Because we feel there is no that direction. We feel money is there. We are not being told where it's going to. We are just being told we are closing down the country. We don't know what happens next. So the kids, who are we down here, we are asking our father, what is the direction? And you see, that's what we are discussing here. What is the direction? And someone will rise up. And considering if you are a man and a woman in the house, a woman may not persevere to see a directionless house because she doesn't want to be put to shame. So when she rises up and takes up your role, you start feeling now intimidated, or you waken up and you're like, hey, why are you playing my roles? If we play them good, they will not take our roles. They will complement us and support us, and we'll have good families, good relationships, and we'll be good people. And a good society will raise a society that has hope for tomorrow because they have the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. Let me see if Mr. Flashlights is there. Frozen, are you back? He's still there. James is listening to us very keenly because he needs to analyze the psychology of the whole discussion. Unfortunately, we lost James on a lighter note, though. We will try to go to the comment section and quickly flip through and see what they have to say. Let's see. Very fast to all the way top. I will try and see from the last place we left it at. Let's see what they have to say. Okay. Lucy Kapumpum, thank you so much for your message. We will be handling that topic next week, so don't feel left out. That is a message we will be covering tomorrow. What about the men that go mute? I think we responded. I updated one before. we will find out if we can address that at a later stage. Hopefully not tonight, though. Very good question and contribution towards the topic. And again, says Hapo, per nothing, I'm a victim. When you say what is the problem, nothing. What do you want me to do? Nothing. Why are you silent? Nothing. Very difficult conversation to have. Kipro answers and say, we go mute because we need time to think. You know the kind of information you fed these ladies with tonight is really against us, Gilbert. But then again, those are your personal opinions. We have Nancy who says, James, I don't agree because often men also keep quiet and I will not talk about their emotions. I'm one of them. I keep quiet when I don't want to. Let's see. Gilbert, this all rather on a lighter note, I hope. Gilbert, leta namba yako ya M-Pesa. I told you everything you said tonight is really against our motion. But thank you so much. Tumpia namba ya wave. Okay. Okay, great. Gilbert, we will invite you for the next conference. I don't know when they are having one, but just know you are invited. Thank you so much for speaking to the issues of the ladies. At least they feel well represented in this discussion tonight. Women are straightforward, while men will beat around the bush calling us drama queens. Well, I don't remember when you were drama princess in the first time, but then again, that's my personal opinion. Let's see. Okay. Thank you so much, Edel Kweyu, and say thank you. So, do your role. Men, let's do our role. Especially Gilbert, I agree with you. Again, Edel Kweyu, thank you so much for coming in the comment section. She is such a great trainer. Look her up on Edel Kweyu on her personal profile. She does amazing stuff on Louis Reloaded. Get to that page and, of course, like, follow, and, of course, subscribe to the group. And you have an amazing one. Of course, they are launching officially on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Kipro Roda, thank you so much. Salama Tayu, Nancy Magen, Lucy Kapumpum, Saran Jonjo, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. 2 votes for okay, nice show, great panelists, always interesting to listen to you guys. Thank you so much, Nikita. And of course, I think it's almost time to call a wrap, but before we do that, let's see if James can give his final thoughts. James, you want to say something before you again freeze on us?
Men need to step up. That's what I'll say. We can't hide. We will not hide that we've slackened. We can have 1,000,001 reasons why, but it's simply at the end of the day we've slackened. We need to step up. If we need to take leadership roles in the family, let's do so. If we need to bring order to the family, let's do so. Whatever it takes, let's reclaim our space at the home front and in society. And for the women out there, help your man become the leader that you want him to be. Yeah, as long as you are in a relationship with him, when he becomes a leader, it becomes beneficial to you too. So do not just leave it to him to find his ways. If you expect him to be told by his boys out in the bar what to do and how to be a leader, then he will get wrong advice. Each family, I believe, is built on its own tenets, different rules for different families. Sit down with your man, explain what you want, not in a confrontational manner. Let them understand where you're coming from, and you will find that the leader that you've always wanted is still within him. Is still within him. The thing that attracted you to him in the first place has not disappeared. It just needs to be nurtured and brought out. So I think it's a role that both men and women can play, and yeah, we can have leaders as we desire. So that's my take. Anyway.
Thank you so much, James Mwavi, always for making time. Gilbert Makumere, all the way from the USA. Thank you so much, sir, for your contributions tonight. And by the way, gentlemen, ladies are challenging us. They want their own show. I think we have to discuss about this. They want it on Monday so that we can revenge on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we can comfort one another with love and relationships. Remember, every single Friday we have Art in Heart, and this week it's gonna be fire. So stay tuned. And tomorrow, do not forget, we are talking money and relationships with Nyokabi GK Kamau, relationship coach. Be there on time. Remember, we'll be airing every single of these shows straight from the official page, which is the Arts in Art, or Likuyani Ele is the page name, just like it appears on the screen. So make sure you are there for the date. And until next time, gentlemen, it has been fun having you. I hope after this we can have that corner discussion, because Gilbert has let us down. But who am I to speak? But before I do the sign out, remember, guys, we are still fundraising for Mr. Joel Kiplangat, and this is the account number, which is 46172. Pay bill number is 891300. And reason why we are doing the fundraise is to help support him to cover his medical bills that are blowing beyond the insurance cover that he's had, and it has gone way beyond the family ability to meet this cost. So be nice for once. Do something corporate responsibility. We are a corporate, all of us. And of course, if you help one friend or the other, it goes a long way. So send in your money. Melipo mishahara, you have no excuses. 100 bob, 200 bob, it makes a difference. Remember, you can send it directly via M-Pesa on 91664445. That is 0791 664445. And the name is Im Chanji that will be receiving that money on behalf of the family. Tumekafunga wase, till next week. Tukutane kwa boardroom so that we can sort this issue. Have a great night, guys, and God bless you guys. Thank you, and
Thank you.
we are out.